Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Ebben with the WBZ News Update. Our top stories: the Norfolk County District Attorney investigating the death of a Patriots fan says a preliminary autopsy identified a medical issue and did not suggest a traumatic injury. On Sunday, Dale Mooney collapsed at Gillette Stadium during the Pats-Dolphins game. WBZ has obtained video of the fight, but we're only using a few images from it. They show how Mooney and a Dolphins fan struggled with each other before the Dolphins fan punched Mooney at least once. Mooney then slumps into a seat. The DA says the investigation is still open. More testing will be necessary to determine Mooney's exact cause of death. State police are still looking, though, to talk to anyone who has video of the incident. A red line operator is off the job after two close calls involving workers. The MBTA says on Monday a crew inspecting tracks signaled the train's operator to stop, but the train did not stop and went right past the workers. The crew wasn't hurt, but while talking to the T about the incident, one member of that crew reported a similar incident in the same area of the red line on September 11th. The MBTA says that it is investigating and has notified the federal government about both incidents. Just last week, federal regulators ordered some immediate changes to the T's safety practices because of other incidents involving workers. If you're heading to the Big E this weekend, you might notice extra police. Officers say they've already seen two fights during their first 5 days of this annual fair. There will be extra police patrols as a precaution to increase security. Police say the fights may have been staged and recorded by young people looking to become famous on TikTok. Well, it is a beautiful day out there, plenty of sunshine. Let's get a check of the forecast with Zack.
No complaints in the weather department, finally, because we have heard the moans and groans since the beginning of the month, whether it was the heat and the humidity at the beginning of September, followed up by the drenching and flooding rains. Thankfully, the sunshine is going to take us from now through the end of the week, and then why is there always a shakeup over the weekend? Saturday and Sunday, we'll get a few more rain chances in the mix. General garden variety showers for the second half of the weekend. Our emphasis is going to be Saturday afternoon and evening. Not only the rain chances increasing, but the rain intensity might be picking up as well. Latest indications are showing that we're probably going to get a good dose as we move into the second half of that day. Far from it from now, though, so take advantage of the blue sky while it's here. And if you can't carve out some time this afternoon, Thursday and Friday, still give us a window of opportunity, and we can open up the windows. This is really refreshing, dry air, humidity non-existent into the low and mid 70s, and we're going to keep those dew points at bay for the next few days as well. When you're talking the 50s, that is already low. When you're talking the 40s, we're talking chapped lips. So by the time we wake up early tomorrow morning, we're probably down into the 40s for actual air temperature. May need to be finding the chapstick as we go into our early drive, and we're probably going to need the sweater, if not a light jacket, to go along with the bus stop. It is going to be rather cool to start things off, but we can expect this at this point in the season, right? And thankfully, we're slightly above seasonal averages during the afternoon hours. And with calmer winds, we had a little bite to the air on Tuesday afternoon, but really seemed to diminish those wind speeds today. It's going to feel noticeably warmer. So mid 70s for our highs, maybe sliding just a few degrees as we go into the next two afternoons. It's the morning that we're going to put more emphasis on, though, as we're going to be dropping those numbers into the 40s, probably for the first time in many locations so far this season. And we're actually going to be following our sunset back past 6:30 a.m. So it seems to be losing steam little by little as we get closer to the mid and late September months. And speaking of, you haven't seen a lot of fall foliage because it has been so wet. We have kept the green in place. You'd have to head well off to the north, up into the northeast kingdom of Vermont to really catch any pop of color. It is certainly going to be a late season. And we are still tracking the tropics. We don't officially shut that off until we move into the end of November. So nonetheless, there is still a Category 1 hurricane churning out in the mid-Atlantic. This thankfully remains a fish storm and not going to have any effect on landmass. We're talking tropical moisture by the upcoming weekend, not with the developing wave coming off of Western Africa, but the one that's right now beelining towards the Florida Peninsula. So we'll start to generate a little more steam as it rides up the eastern seaboard in the coming days. First the mid-Atlantic, then the Chesapeake Bay, then eventually to the tri-state area, and it reaches us by midday on Saturday. So initially garden variety showers and sort of wrapping in some of the stronger bands indicated by yellow and orange as we move into Saturday late afternoon and evening. Lingering conditions into Sunday morning as well, but I think we shut the faucet off as we move to Sunday afternoon, and with any luck we can still get out and about at the end of the day to take advantage of some portion of our weekend. And of course, right on cue, we're back into the blue sky and drying out by early next week.
I'm Paula Ebben. This has been a WBZ News Update.